Hi, everybody. My name is Scott McCarney. I'm speaking to you from Rochester, New York. And first, I'd like to thank everyone at BABE for the invitation and opportunity for me to make this presentation, um, which, in these uncertain times, it's really nice to have an audience to kind of work out some ideas. So a little bit of background. What you'll be seeing is a model of an exhibition that was supposed to open on April 24th, 2020, almost exactly a year ago from now. And it was at a co-op gallery called Art Space in Richmond, Virginia. So I usually build models of my exhibitions, especially if it's going to be away from the studio, so I can kind of work out any of the kinks. But generally, it's like, I take little black squares and, move them around. But the closer it got to knowing that this wasn't actually going to be taking place in real time, I went back and printed pictures of the work and made a little more comprehensive piece out of the model itself to kind of get a sense of what it was I was trying to think about. So the installation itself is composed of images that were conceived for books and but produced as prints, many of them for exhibitions that, the it wasn't possible to show books, or the books, books just weren't really welcomed um, themselves. So that's where the idea of this term of the title of the show, Disjecta Membra, came from, which is paraphrased from Disjecta Membra Poetae, which is written by the Roman lyric poet Horace. And it roughly translates as limbs of a dismembered poet in English. Horace implied that if a line was torn from a poem and rearranged, the dismembered parts of the poet would still be recognizable. So, and also in modern bibliophilic terms, it refers to scattered leaves, pages of books that, that exist outside of the binding, and many, more nefarious ways of thinking about it, plates that are ripped out of books because they're, can be sold for more than if they're all gathered in a binding on that. So in a way, the exhibition Disjecta Membra is a mashup of scraps of books and books as prints, bookworks that were conceived as both books and as a single image for a wall display. Generally, I was interested too in putting the show together. It's the way the images change from their sort of verticality on the wall, which I think was a static display where the image is there, but we're kind of moving by as viewers. And coming that where it is, on the horizontal, where a book is on the table and the images are moving, but the viewer is basically static on that. So overall, the work represents about 20, 25 years of my practice, but it's interesting seeing it all together here in this context. It has some resonance for a lot of what we've been thinking about, I think, for the past year in isolation, which might reflect more on my 25 years of practice represented here rather than the last year of a pandemic, but we'll see.